Welcome back to the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. As always, I'm Taylor,
And I'm Ryler.
and this is your Monday Night Raw review for March 24th, 2025. Well, I said Monday Night Raw, but I guess you can call it like Monday afternoon Raw now because the shows have been going on at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon for us. But I want to start off with a question for you to start this
What's that?
off. So last time we talked, you said that you weren't really hyped for WrestleMania. Since then, has that changed at all? Like, are you more hyped than you were before? Are you less hyped, or is it about the same?
I would probably say it's about the same. I am definitely not more hyped. Um, it's kind of hard because I just don't know if there's certain time periods in wrestling where so at this time last year, like the build up to WrestleMania 40 was the most invested I have been, not ever, but in a very long time. And it seemed like
Hmm.
just such a amazing time period. Like I remember when we watched the that press conference or whatever when they were doing the family tree or whatever. That I
Yeah.
remember being so excited to tune in for that and see what was happening. And it seems like for this build up to WrestleMania 41, I have just not had that spark that's made me. I mean, we have John Cena coming out to confront Cody Rhodes, which I guess we'll talk about that in just a minute. Uh, we have Jay and Gunther having more of their build up, and there hasn't really this Raw. I don't know, maybe it's just me. The card itself, when you look at the individual matches, they look good, but the build ups have just been a complete miss. At least what how I've felt it's been. I mean, do you agree? Are you any more hyped?
Yeah, well, I've said on this channel multiple times where I'm hyped for WrestleMania, and I think a lot of that had to do with Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, and then we get to Elimination Chamber, we have John Cena turn heel, and outside of that, there's just and maybe with Rhea, Io, and that Bianca, that whole thing going on. Outside of that, man, I mean, there's not really much else that has me really invested like those 3 programs do. I don't know because last week, yeah, I mean last year's WrestleMania build was probably one of the
Crazy.
best we've
Hmm.
ever had, and it just feels like this year, I don't know, man. It just feels like creative control, like the creative for WWE is just kind of like, oh, I guess they're probably thinking like, oh, last year's Mania Bill was great, so I'm sure fans will
Hmm.
still continue to tune in, so we don't have to do as much this year. But I don't like that mindset. If that's the mindset they're going with, because to me, that's what it feels like. And yeah, man, I'm just not as hyped for WrestleMania, to be honest. And I'm gonna be honest with you right now. It really doesn't feel like WrestleMania season. It feels like we're just gearing up for some, I don't want to say B level show, but I don't know, man. I, I don't feel it this year. I just don't feel it this year.
Yeah, man, I think a lot of people agree with that right now, and I see a lot of people online talking about how how people are going to complain no matter what. They ask for more people, we give more matches this year, and people are still mad. First of all, the internet wrestling community is millions of people, so of course you're not going to make everybody happy. First of all,
Yeah.
and second of all, I just, man, I don't know. I speak to what I'm seeing, and I am not seeing anything that's making me that excited. And I think we can let's just go begin talking about actually what happened tonight on Raw, because a lot of it goes into play of what we're saying right now. Because it started out with John Cena coming out cutting another promo, and I don't know, man. I'm trying not to be like a hater because I'm not. Like, I love Cena. I think they have potential, but it didn't hit, bro. It feels like it's a whole lot of yapping. He just comes out and I'm done with you guys. What do you say? Like it's been a 25-year battle. Talking about the fan last week, that little kid that was like heartbroken by Cena's, like basically when he told him, this is a sign of this, what was it, like abusive relationship that I've had to deal
Yeah.
with you fans. And I get it. It's definitely set in the stones for his what is going to be of his heel run. I get that it's more about him and the fans than it is him and Cody, but that's kind of an issue, right? If we're talking about the main event of WrestleMania,
Yeah.
where these segments just haven't been hitting like I've wanted them to.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So last week's promo I thought was fantastic because we got Cena giving us an explanation on why he turned heel, which he said he's not a heel. He says he's a human being, but wrestling terms, he's a heel. And
Yeah.
I was really hoping for this week we would get some more back and forth, but we
Nope.
did not get that. Cena comes out first, just like he did last week. Cuts another promo. Cody interrupts him, goes out there, says some thanks to Cena, and so Cena says that when he wins the title, he says he's going to ruin wrestling, and I mean, I was like, okay, all right, you're going to ruin wrestling. He says he mentioned the spinner belt, and I can't remember exactly all that he said because I was actually driving home from work while this segment was going on. But I
Mhm.
do remember him saying that he's going to ruin wrestling. He's going to break the record, become 17-time world champion. He said he's going to leave WWE with the champion. He says that he will be the last WWE champion that this company will ever see. And he says that when he leaves with the championship, they're going to have to create a new toy belt. Because playing into the whole, spinner belt, what's toy belt, which I,
Uh-huh.
I, I do agree. I didn't like that title design at all, but and then Cody Rhodes comes out there. He says, "Oh, really? So you want to take this title?" Lays the title in front of Cena on the ground. He tells Cena, take it, take it. And obviously, Cena does the heel thing, acts like he's going to start brawling with Cody Rhodes, and then he just walks out and leaves. And we don't
Yeah.
hear another word from Cena after Cody Rhodes, which I was hoping we were going to get. And now I am praying that next week we will get another face to face between Cena and Cody. We have to get more of a back and forth, and I really think we need to have The Rock mentioned. The Rock hasn't been mentioned once outside
Hmm.
of the promo videos that they showed from Elimination Chamber. I think we needed to hear Cena talk about The Rock, hear Cody talk about The Rock. Why did Cena align himself with The Rock? We haven't got that reason why yet. All we've got is why Cena is a bad guy. And yeah, man, this promo it really didn't do much for me either. I was
Yeah.
I was I was
So
looking forward to it, but no, it
I think that so right now, today's the 24th. We're recording this, yeah, March 24th. So that means that WrestleMania, so we have one, two, we have three Monday Night Raws before WrestleMania 41. And it seems like every
and
single week we've been going on and doing these reviews, it has been, oh, I hope next week or things are going to start heating up now. And we said that a week ago, we said that 2 weeks ago. We're starting to lose time, man. I think that hopefully, like you said, next week we get some involvement with The Rock and we get some serious storyline progression because we know for the most part what the WrestleMania card is going to be, but all the matches seem like they're missing that crucial formula.
yeah.
Um, and it's not just this match. I guess we can also talk about I guess just the net one of the other big matches they're hyping up right now, which is obviously Jay Uso versus Gunther for the world title.
Mhm.
And so we had the tag match, Jay mystery partner versus Theory and Waller. And the mystery partner was revealed to be not Joe Hendry, but
Thank
Jimmy
thank
Uso.
you.
I
Thank
don't know.
you.
I'm okay with it. Obviously, we get so that means we get to see the Usos reunite.
I'm just
Uh,
glad it wasn't Joe Hendry because I heard those rumors
yeah,
last
it's Joe
week, and
Hendry, bro.
I don't care about Joe. I could care less about Joe Hendry.
It's okay. I knew. I thought if he came out, he was gonna. Yeah, I mean, obviously he was gonna get a real big pop, but
Mhm.
I can understand that there wasn't much. Jimmy coming out obviously makes a lot more sense with their history. I mean, duh. But
Yeah.
so this match happens, and obviously the Usos pick up the win. Not really anything too notable, but the more notable thing that happened was after the match because what was it like? Gunther came out. He tried attacking him
Yeah,
and
he came out, he attacked Jimmy Uso, then him and Jay traded some blows. Jay was getting ready to go for a spear, and then he slipped. And obviously that was intentional. I know all the Jay
yes, for
Uso
sure.
haters are going to see that and be like, "Oh, this guy botches once again." No, it was intentional. He slipped on
Mhm.
purpose, and Gunther ended up getting the upper hand. And Jay's just in the ring looking defeated, like, man, week after week, I just can't get anything up on this guy. Well, and then we had that backstage segment later on with Jay and Jimmy, and I enjoyed the hell out of that backstage segment between them two.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did
did you
too.
catch that?
I think yes, I
Mhm.
did, and I think that Jimmy added a lot of. Obviously, I'm still not super excited for this match, but that's the type of stuff that we are needing to see. So basically, Jimmy Uso was telling him that he's not going to be able to beat Gunther at WrestleMania, at least how he is now, because he's doubting himself. They're playing that
Mhm.
botched spear that he did earlier, not bot, shoot plan botch, I guess it would be called. They talked about that. They talked about basically how he hasn't been himself recently, and if he can become himself, then he can finally. It's very similar to the buildup with him and Zayn, or at least that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
And I think that so after that, Jimmy Uso was saying that he ran into Gunther, like he was backstage right next to him, and he comes up to him after and he slaps the dog shit out of him. He
Yeah.
hit him so hard, and we got
Yeah, man.
confirmed for next week Jimmy Uso will be taking on Gunther. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. I think it's definitely
Mhm.
something that they needed to add to spice up the feud a little bit more. I still am not super excited for the match itself. I don't know if there's much they can do at this point for me personally, but it's definitely added some variety to it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we just made a video just a couple days ago about Jay Uso, and the whole like YouTube video that they uploaded last week has like 82% dislikes compared to likes, and we talked about what this feud needs, and I said that I think they should bring Jimmy Uso into the feud to make
Hmm.
it more personal, and I'm glad that they've done that because yeah, Jimmy Uso said that yeah, you told Jay that you can't beat Gunther if you're like this. He pretty much told Jey Uso that you need to go back to your right hand man Jey Uso days. You need to go back to your main event Jey
Hmm.
Uso days, the one that beat Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank, the one that beat Braun Breaker. He says that we need that Jey Uso. So I'm glad that we've got some family involved, and I think next week I could very well see Gunther beating the living crap out of Jimmy Uso, and that just makes Jey Uso crash the hell out, and then he just
Hmm.
I don't know goes in there beats Gunther with a chair or something. But I think we need to see more like more personal, uh, more personal stuff in this feud, and then we also need to see Jay just lose his mind. I
Yeah,
think
for
we need
sure,
that Jey
for
Uso
sure.
back for sure. But so after that, I guess we can touch up on. So they had a little segment between Rhea, Bianca, and
Hmm.
Io, and then they announced that next week it'll be Rhea Ripley getting her rematch for the women's world title against Io Sky, but Bianca Belair will be the special guest referee. You got a prediction on that? I mean,
Um, I'm guessing Bianca will like. I mean, we obviously all know this is going to a triple threat, so
yeah.
either it ends in a no contest, she like, beats both of them up or something, or Rhea Ripley distracts her, and I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, regardless, it's gonna some way they are going to end up tying it to a triple threat at WrestleMania, and I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
I'm glad it's just not Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, like we were all, saying, at least a few months back. So I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. But how are you feeling about this?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, like I said last week, I think a triple threat match between these three would be amazing. You know, they're all three amazing in their own right. So you have all three of them in the ring at the same time. It's going to be a great match. And the I'm for the most part, this build to this match, it's been pretty good. You got that thing going on where Rhea and Bianca are pretty much doubting Io Sky this whole time. They're just like, oh, this isn't about you. This is between me and this is between us. This has nothing to do with you, Io. But Io's like,
Hmm.
okay, well, I'm the women's world champion, so yeah, this is about me. So, but yeah, I do think somehow, some way, Bianca will get involved somehow. She'll probably screw Rhea Ripley over, and then that leads to the triple threat match at WrestleMania. So I'm looking forward to the match, and the build up to this it's been okay, I guess.
It's been
But
okay. That's basically the story of everything that happened on Raw.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much been the story for everything that's leading into WrestleMania at this
For
point.
sure.
Just
For sure.
okay and not good. But after that, I mean, CM Punk cut a promo, just talking about how he's going to have a
Yeah.
contract signing with Punk and not Punk, but with Rollins and Reigns this Friday on SmackDown. They're going to be in, I think, London, England at the O2 Arena. And
Hmm.
then we had the main event. Braun Breaker defended his Intercontinental Championship against Penta. What are you shaking your head for?
Uh, well, because first of all, it ended in a DQ. Um, Man, I just as soon as that happened, I was
I
like,
mean, what
"Bruh,
what did you think was going to happen?
I don't maybe just don't put that as a main event then." I mean, I feel like it ending in a DQ and we've already had a show, um, didn't make things better. And this match was okay. I mean, it had basically Penta greatest hits, Braun Breaker greatest hits. They got their good spots in, and the entire background basically was Penta. Is he going to accept Judgment Day's offer? Like they were talking to him back, or Dom was talking to him backstage, and was like, there's always a spot for you in the Judgment Day if you want to join. Obviously, we knew that wasn't going to happen tonight. Um, but yeah, Dominic attacks him. It ends in a DQ, and yeah, I guess that makes sense. Or you don't want Penta to lose, and obviously Braun Breaker doesn't need to be losing the IC title right now. So I get it, but man, this week is just entire transition, is what it feels like. It's like you said, it just doesn't feel like a build up to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I personally I enjoyed the main event because I mean I am a fan of Braun Breaker and I also am a fan of Penta and I thought the match was good. The finish was I mean it was okay, but I mean what do you expect? You got Braun Breaker and Penta in there, so obviously you want to protect both of them. You don't want to have either of them take a loss here. But to me, it looks like we're probably going towards the fatal four way at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title, which would be Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, and Dom Mysterio. That's kind of what I got from that post match segment after the match. So, did is that what you think, or you think they'll go another route, or what?
Um, I kind of hope not. I mean, we have how many triple threat or like multi-man type matches? It feels like a lot. I'm not sure. Maybe it's
We
just
only have
those
two.
like is it just two?
Yeah,
I
the
just
yeah,
maybe man. I think yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it honestly. I feel like that does make sense though when you lay it out like that. I just I don't know. Mid. I mean, hopefully, I guess I would love to see Dom win the IC title. I don't
yeah.
think it's going to happen at WrestleMania, but I would love to see him win it.
I mean, maybe they put him in this match with three of those other guys, and that's his way of getting the title. Maybe he pins Finn Balor, so he doesn't have to pin Braun Breaker or Penta to win the title. But who knows? But
That's fair.
that's kind of where I got. That's kind of what I got from that segment because I still don't think that Dom and Balor are on the same page whatsoever. So I
Mhm.
think we'll continue to get more tension between them, and then I mean, yeah, I mean we've only got 3 weeks left, so if they're gonna do something with the Intercontinental title, then they're gonna have to do something quick. Same for the U.S. title. I don't know exact. I don't know what the hell LA Knight's gonna be doing either. But
Yeah, because Jimmy Uso just had a segment with him like on SmackDown, and yeah, that's another thing that I thought was weird about him coming out as Jay's tag partner and now having this match with Gunther is that like what is